What's going on here? What's going on here? Old Shatter Geek, thank you so much for that host. How are you doing today? Hope you are doing well. It's great to see you. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's great to see you. I'm doing great, Chef. For my 9-year cooking assignment, year 9. Oh, year 9. Sorry, I was going to say. I got very, very confused then. We have to make an overseer's dish with an Australian twist to it. Okay. And me being me, I'm going to make a chocolate and coconut macarons to try imitate a lamington. What do you think? Chocolate shell and coconut ganache. Yeah, it sounds very tasty. The only thing with that, though, Tiny, is to be careful of the humidity. If you've got a humidity kind of day when you're making the macarons, they won't turn out very well and there'll be nothing you can do about it. So you've got to make sure, like, kind of, if you're making the macarons, make sure the weather report is low on humidity, otherwise you could face some problems. I'm not saying that you will, but you might have some issues with it. But no, it sounds fantastic. It sounds very tasty, very ambitious, very good. So thumbs up from Chef for sure. Chef, how do you feel about the show Chopped? I don't know, never watched it, but I have applied to it and I got nowhere with it. But I'll probably apply again when I go to the US. So it's probably why I didn't get in, because I'm not in the US. I said I had no visas, but now I do, or in the process of, anyway. Doing all right. Got a early weekend, so I actually watch you live. Awesome. I'm glad you had a bit of an early weekend, but no, I really appreciate you being here. Such dedication and support, honestly. But I'm glad you're doing well, dude. Don't eat crayons. Oh my god. Who's been eating those waxy crayons again? What have I told you guys about this? I've already warned you once. Thanks, Chef Name. Most welcome. Right, so let's give this a bit of a peel. So what I'm going to do with this butternut squash, right, and the carrots and the parsnips, I'm going to actually dice these up. I'm going to roast them off with foiled over in a little bit of honey. I went to the farm shop. I found a little veg shop, more than likely. I wouldn't call it a farm shop. More of a veg shop. And they did some nice little proper fresh veggies. I even got some proper fresh honey as well. And wow, it's even better than the one I used to buy. So we actually bought it. And apparently it's been rated like one of the best honeys, I think, in the UK. So I'm really, really happy. It was a little bit pricey, but it's fine. It's not too bad. But it's actually called Hilltop Honey. It's actually proper traditional honey. It's really, really good. So I'm going to put a little bit of this in with the veggies when they're roasting off. So just to add a little bit of sweetness in there. I'm not going to go too crazy with it, but yeah. Wow. If you ever normally have shop-bought honey and you try this, it will blow your mind, honestly. It's unbelievable. So much great flavours from. You can even taste like the nectar of the flowers and stuff in it. It's so delicious. Sorry, this keeps going in my face and it's just making me feel like really uncomfortable. Eat the key. How are you on? What are you on about? Right here. So a little bit of a hydrate. Beautiful. Right, so I'm going to dice these up with the butternut squash. I mean, don't have to be so specific, but I mean, I'm just going to dice them up quite small. I mean, that's a little bit thick, so just take the tops down. Dice them up however kind of shape you want. It doesn't really matter because it's going to get all blended up anyway afterwards, so it's all good. So just dicing these right up. I mean, if you want to dice them up smaller, you could do, but I'm quite happy with the way they are, so fan-tastic. Right, I'll tell you what, we're going to use this tray. Or should we use a deeper one? Nah, this will do. Right, so let's get them on there. Let's get them on the... Oh, that's been on, isn't it? So, if we pop that there, so it's out of the way. Honey from Happy Bees, it certainly is. I mean, I love using products like that. Do you know what I mean? From, like, proper, decent sources. And you know where your honey's come from. You know it's genuine. You know it's not crap mixed together. So, you know... And to be fair, honey's already expensive in the supermarkets as it is, so I'd rather pay that extra £1 and get some proper decent stuff, do you know what I mean? So it's not actually much more difference in price. I mean, if you buy the really cheap stuff, wow, I don't want to know what it is. It's probably mixed up. It's not even honey, to be honest with you. It's like syrup. Weird concoction of sugar syrup. But yeah. To be fair with you, if you want the proper properties of honey, get yourself a decent one. Do you know what I mean? Can't go wrong with it. It's got some great values and great properties in there, which do good for your body. Blended food. Yeah, you have to blend the food down for the soup. Otherwise, I mean, you could have a chunky rustic soup if you want to, but we want a nice, smooth, beautiful soup. Which I got a feeling. Yeah, I've left my blender upstairs again. Donut. It's okay. I'll go get it later. It's not exactly a issue. Right, so if I keep some parsnips for... Am I using these tomorrow, these two? Oh, I've got 3 parsnips there. Beautiful. So if I use 2 more, that should be fine. I got enough parsnips for those chips tomorrow. Mixed with potatoes. Potato tots. Magic. So I'll just leave them there because I'm going to give it a peel as well. What was that? Oh. Who knows? Got 25 kilo of honey jar gifted to me, and I sort of hate honey. Oh wow, 25 kilo. That's a lot of honey. That sounds pretty expensive. I mean, to be fair, how much was this? This is like 227 grams. So 25 kilos. What on earth is that? Is that in a like a petrol barrel or something? Holy moly, that's a lot of honey, dude. Seriously. And you actually hate it. Wow. You could probably jar it up and sell it, maybe. I don't know. Get your money back. Right, so give this a peel. I need to try this honey. You certainly do. You certainly do. It's amazing. I tried it for the first time this morning, and I'm not joking you. It's quite mind-blowing. It's really, really good. This one's made from orange blossom. There was different types of flavors as well. I saw up there. There's one that was quite herby as well, which I thought was a bit different. But I didn't get the herby one because we just wanted the normal, straightforward one. But this is from orange blossom. So they obviously put them in the fields with like different kind of, depending on what flowers or blossom or whatever's growing in there. So the bees actually get the nectar from those certain plants. So you do elaborate with different flavors, which is really nice. So it is a little bit different. Hey, chef, how's it going? How goes it today? It's going very well, my friend. A mad genius. How are things with you? Great to have you here. Welcome back. How is your wonderful Friday going? Right, so basically what I'm doing is removing the cores out of these parsnips. I mean, you can eat the cores if you want, but I just usually find these quite tough and very like woody, so I always take them out. You don't want to take them out. That's cool by me, but I usually take them out because they're quite like fibrous and woody, and they don't really help to add to a nice smooth silky soup. So we're taking them bad boys out. Cinder, how's it going? Good morning, chef. Good morning, Cinder. How are things with you? Good. Thanks for asking. Awesome. I'm glad you're doing well, my friend. Good morning, Dingbo. Good morning. Good God. All these lovely people. You wonderful human beings are all tuning in. Lovely to see you guys. God bless the bees. We are doomed if they are gone. Yeah, exactly. We got to make sure we look after them. Very much so. So, you know, definitely by supporting like kind of local businesses who look after the bees and produce this wonderful honey. You know, I rather support them than the supermarket crap. Let's put it that way. But yeah, we got to look after them. Otherwise, they're not going to be able to pollinate all those beautiful veggies and stuff that we have. So then we're going to have major issues, aren't we? So no more fresh veg. And honestly, I can't live a world with fresh veg, unfortunately. I love vegetables. I love fruits. Do you know what I mean? So it is really important to kind of, we've got to look after them. I think a lot of people are very unfamiliar with what's going on with the bees at the moment. So, but we need to make a difference for it for sure. These are important. We could replace them robotic drones that are more effective, but bees do it for free. So say, well, yeah, and do you know what I mean? I don't think robotic drones will add much flavour to it. This honey tastes a bit metallic. Yeah, no. No, just pretty much no. Yes, I am making mead, lots of mead. Are you having a bit of a meadful day? What meads are you making, my friend? My dad's friend has a bee farm. He doesn't have too many bees, but he gives us honey sometimes. It's way better than what we get in the supermarkets. Yeah, exactly. Do you know what I mean? You can't beat proper, decent honey. It's amazing, and it's got some fantastic properties for you as well. I know it's sugar, but it's actually decent sugar compared to that granulated rubbish that we have. I mean, don't get me wrong. We do have some... I do have some granulated now and again, but very, very rarely use it, to be honest with you. Where am I going with this? Oh, yeah, it's under here. That's why. Donut. Right, so we got our parsnips, got our carrots. We're going to have a little bit of squash as well. So, let's squash this out. So, I'm about here, because the seeds are about in the middle of this one. So, what we're going to do, we're going to give this a peel. I'm not going to run my knife down there, because I'm going to be sliding all over the place. So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to peel it, make my life a little bit more easier as well. So, let's give this a bit of a peel. We'll have a check on those parsnip crisps as well very shortly. Don't worry, it's 2017. There is a GMO now on the supermarket's cafes. Yeah, I'd rather use proper, like, organic or from a farm bought kind of stuff. Same with, like, meats and things. You know, I'd rather it come from a proper farmer that's, you know, doing his own shop or, like, a little small business. They're usually the best places to buy it rather than these huge branded supermarkets, which sometimes we don't have a choice, do we? I mean, we're stuck with that kind of crap to eat. But, you know, you've just got to have a look around, guys. It's just go on the internet sometimes. Sometimes they're not even online. And you can just, you know, usually word of mouth, ask somebody, do you know where a good farm shop is? And some people will just say, oh yeah, there's one down here. Such and such that you might not even know of. So, you know, don't be afraid to ask people. Just ask about and see if you can find one. Maybe there might not be one near you. Do you know what I mean? So, which is a bit sad. I know it can be tough, but just have to make best do with what you got. I don't know what I need to do to make yet, but have to do something with honey. I mean, I can't sell it easily because there's lots of bees farmers in the region. Do you have quite a lot of? So you have quite an abundant amount of bees then in the area then where you live in, Colonel. I guess that's a good thing, but yeah, well, at least you're stocked up for a good few years. Let's put it that way. But yeah, you can make all sorts of things. I mean, I use honey quite a lot during the week to substitute usually sugar, and you get better properties in it. I mean, at the end of the day, sugar and honey, they're all the same thing. Do you know what I mean? Sugar is sugar at the end of the day. But, you know, you can use honey sparingly, and it'll still be just as sweet as granulated. So technically you're using less sugar as long as you use it sparingly. So you can use less of it, thus making it a healthier alternative. Right, so let's give this a bit of a dice up. So watch your fingers, guys. Dice this up into little squares. Nice. Right, so I was going to do the concasse, but I'm just thinking I haven't got enough parsnips here, so I might leave the concasse stuff off and just do a little bit of roasted butternut squash instead. So we'll see how that kind of pans out. Let's turn this down. It's a little bit bubbling away, a little bit too quick for my liking. So that's simmering nicely. It's starting to come up to a simmer anyway. So let's give this all diced up. Those parsnip crisps shouldn't be too far off. I'll probably give them a re-blast before we use them as garnish, but they usually take a fair bit of time to crisp up. But you can always put them back in afterwards, just before you finish up, just to crisp up on a higher temperature, without burning them though. You have to be very, very careful. But you can put them on a high temperature just for like a couple of minutes, and they'll really crisp back up and dry out nicely. So what is this thing? Like solid pumpkin brick with no seeds at all? I've never heard of that. That's a new one on me for sure, Colonel. What is the pumpkin? Blah 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 blah. What is this pumpkin brick? I don't know. I'm guessing it sounds like pumpkin condensed down into the shape of a brick, so you can slice it, right? I got no idea. If anyone else has a clue, please feel free to answer. Rightio. So got a fair whack of butternut squash on here, so let's get this on here. I'm going to dice up the other butternut squash as well. I'm going to get that done as well. Watch your fingers. So. Oh, you mean... No, this is butternut squash, my friend. It's very similar to pumpkin. But I don't know if you've ever seen them before, but butternut squash, very delicious. Very similar to pumpkin, but not pumpkin itself. Hi, Chef Framewood. How's it going? How are you doing today? Hope you're doing well. It's great to see you. Seeds are in the bottom. Yeah, usually it depends on the size of the butternut squash, but usually, let me just show you now. Actually, no, because I want to cut this up slightly. Should have done it the other way around, but that's fine. I'll show you in a second anyway. But yeah, there's seeds usually in the bottom, but depending on the shape, it's usually like round, and then it's just bulbous at the bottom, which is usually where the seeds are. But sometimes they're just straight.